So at this time we'll go ahead and get started. We are going to open the AutoCAD program. The AutoCAD program can be opened from the Start menu, or during the download process a desktop icon is also put on your desktop that you can click on to launch the program. So I'm going to open up mine here from my Start menu, and as the program opens it gives us a number of welcome messages, and the welcome messages are showing us some of our most recent files that we worked on, and it's also showing us some information and updates from the AutoCAD website and some of the other user forums. I will go ahead and dismiss this one, and here we have the AutoCAD program opened for us. As you can see, the default file that it opens with the program is entitled drawing1.dwg. The .dwg is the suffix for all AutoCAD drawings produced by the program. Let's go ahead and review some of the tabs that we see. So first of all, I'll click on the Home tab, and under the Home tab we have a number of drawing palettes available to us. The first palette says Draw, and this palette is basically where we will find the functionality to draw some of our basic shapes. For example, we have the line, we have the polyline, circle, an arc, and many others. Let's hover over any of those icons in the Draw palette, and when we do so we have a tooltip that appears that gives us some information on the button and how it is used to provide the functionality. So when we hover over it initially we have a smaller tooltip, and then if we continue hovering over it we get the expanded tooltip, which comes with full annotation and some more features and help tips that we can use or tap into to obtain even more information on the particular button. Now let's click on the Draw drop down in the Draw palette. So when we click on it we see some additional buttons which provide additional functionality for drawing some other shapes, as well as providing some other AutoCAD functions. And we will look at those in detail as we proceed through this course. Let's hover over the line icon, and as you can see it says there's a descriptor to the bottom that says line, and then below that we have a tip that says press F1 for more help. So I'm going to go ahead and press F1 on my keyboard, and what we get is additional information on this icon, and this information is being pulled from the AutoCAD help file, and it gives an even more expanded description with examples and a click-by-click narrative of how to use the button. And towards the bottom there are the additional links to reference material which can give us even further examples of how the specific button can be applied. We can also use the search window here to look up additional information that we may need, and once we do that we'll have a list of options that pop up in the text area down here, and then we can then follow those links to get to and review the information that we're looking for. At this time I'll dismiss the help window. Let's review some of the other palettes under the Home tab. We have the modify. So let's hover over some of the icons and see what functionality they provide. So the modify in general is where we have the buttons and functions that enable us to edit, or as the name implies, modify or change pre-existing features that we have already drawn. So for example, this button is the move button. This is where we can move an object around. This is the rotate button, where we can rotate an existing object. We have the erase button, where we can erase objects that we have drawn. We have the copy button. We have the scale, where we can enlarge or reduce an object that we've drawn based on a given scale factor, and many other features also on the drop down. Let's look at some of the other tabs in the AutoCAD program. Let's look at the Insert tab. So under the Insert tab, we have various buttons that provide functions related to inserting objects and features. If you were to hover over the first one, Insert says inserts a block or a drawing in the current drawing. Let's look at the Annotate tab. The Annotate tab is where we have the functionality to provide annotations to our drawings. So annotations include, for example, putting dimensions to our drawings. So after drawing a feature, we would want to dimension it, show the measurements on the drawing. We can also add text. So text descriptors, so information that we just want to type in as regular language in regular sentences to provide some additional information for the user of our drawings. We also have information that we can type into annotations that have a leader on them, in other words, an arrow pointing from the text to the specific location on the object for which we want to provide additional detailed information. Let's look at another tab. We have the Layout tab, and the Layout tab is where we can set up the page and the drawing space in which we shall be drawing our objects and features. If we want to create a new drawing or new layout, we can do that from here, and many other capabilities that we'll look at as we proceed through this course. And let's look at one more tab. We have the View tab, and the View tab is where we have the buttons and functions that enable us to view our objects and features that we will be drawing from various points of view. So for example, I could draw a box, and let's say I would want to view the box from different perspectives. So I could do that. I may also want to have a three-dimensional view of my box, even though I have drawn it on a flat piece of paper. From multiple points of view, I could view my object using 3D Navigator here. And we also have different visual styles that we can use to present our drawings and the objects and features that we draw in them. And we could do that through the visual styles, and many other features available to us in the AutoCAD program. So this has been an overview of the AutoCAD program. In our next video, we shall start drawing some basic features